Hey y'all, what's going on? My name is Jason Luttrell. Well, this is my first YouTube video, and I really didn't want to do this, but I've had so many requests about it, so I finally just broke down and did one. I don't even know where to begin with what's currently going on in our world today. I mean, I look around and all I fear is disgust and fear for my son's future and for all of our children's future as to what we're doing to this world, all in the name of profit. And no one seems to care. No one seems to mind that we're destroying everything, that we're poisoning our waters, that we're poisoning our food, that we're poisoning every single aspect of this earth. And it's just like everybody would rather sit down and watch the reality TV. They would rather watch, some crap on the media about Sharia law and this and that to keep people living in fear. It's like they can't let go of the fear base. And they can't just open up their minds to the possibilities that maybe they're wrong and actually start to seek out the truth and to find, who's really causing all the problems in this country. And I guarantee you it has nothing to do with Muslims. It has nothing to do with Sharia law. It has nothing to do with all the mass media bullshit that we keep bombarded with to keep us in fear every day. If you just follow the money, well, then you really start to see who's causing the problems and who's really benefiting from your death and every other death that's happening in this country and in the world. And it leads back to the same people over and over. And until people start to wake up and really start to seek out that truth, I don't know what's going to happen to this world, because at this rate, we're going to destroy ourselves. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're on a path for destruction, and if we don't change soon, then I fear for my son and your children's safety and futures. Because what we're leaving them now is it's fucking pathetic. It really is. I'm sorry to use that word, but it's pathetic that we've let it get this far. It's pathetic that we're not standing up and shouting out loud in the streets to stop the injustices, to stop the theft, to stop the corruption, to stop the destruction of our earth. We're all humans. We're all flawed. We're all products of our environments. And until we change those environments and start to look for a peaceful way to live with each other, we're going to destroy each other. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's happened throughout history over and over, and that's exactly the path that we're on right now. I don't even really know where to begin. I mean, if I was you, I would start really researching fractional reserve banking. I would start looking into the Federal Reserve. I would start looking into the UN, the World Trade Organization, the IMF, every aspect of it, Halliburton. I mean, all these big corporations, every single one of them. Start really looking into it. Monsanto, all of them. They're all interlinked, and they're all destroying everything that we hold dear. They don't care about us. All they care about is money. And they've turned most of us into nothing but greedy, selfish pigs. And it disgusts me. I used to be one too, I'll admit it. But I've pulled myself out of the matrix, and I've never been happier, and I've never felt freer in my life. When you really find the truth and really start to open your eyes to the reality of it all and follow the money and find out who's really causing the problems, and really start to look around and see all the things that are controlling you in every aspect of your life, then you really start to become free. You stop being scared. You stop fearing every single aspect of living. What kind of life are we living anyway if all we do is go around and fear every day? We fear this, we fear each other, we fear terrorists, we fear every aspect of life. I mean, what kind of life is that? That's not living. That's it's sad. It's really, really sad. It really is. And until people really start to open their minds and to seek out truth in every aspect with all their heart, there's no way you're ever going to find peace in this world. I mean, if all you do is listen to the media, watch TV, and let the lies and the mass corruption and the greed and all the other things that you're bombarded with daily on your daily uploads, if that's all you go by and you let that control your life, then you're never going to find happiness. You're never going to find truth. You're never going to actually find inner peace. You're going to be at turmoil all your life. You're going to be hating things for the rest of your life. You're going to be fearing things for the rest of your life. And until you really start to follow the money and really look things up and follow, where all this greed-based hate and I don't even, all of it. I mean, it leads to certain people and certain groups and certain corporations, and once you start following that and seeing the system as a whole, it then you start to wake up, and then you start to see all the lies that you've been told, and it starts to add up. It used to sound like conspiracy theorists, but the more you start to look into it, the more conspiracy theorists starts to sound like people who look things up and truth. So, well, that's gonna be all for my first YouTube. Um, I've got a ton of information. I've done tons of research on this, just about every aspect of it. Some things I'm still kind of iffy about, but even those have some pretty fundamental grounds to stand on as well, and that's even more. It's even more mind-boggling because that just opens up a whole nother can of worms. But to start with, really start to look into how your monetary system works, because that's the foundation of our society today, and it's a fraud. It's a pyramid scheme, and it is debt equals money, and money equals debt, and there's no way we're ever going to be able to pay back the debt. And what the debt does is leads to inflation, which eventually leads to deflation, which leads to depression and starvation. And that's the path that we're heading on, and until we change the monetary system and take back the power of making our own money, and just change the entire thing completely and start to find new ways of working together, then we're going to be on a path for destruction, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And if you don't believe me, look it up. And if you need help looking it up, let me know, and I'll post links. I'll try to point you in the right direction to show you the way. Because there's a lot of information out there, and you have to sift through a lot of it to find the truth, but if you look, you'll find it. So thank you all, have a great night, and God bless.